Meet Sarah, bright, motivated college graduate. She worked hard, stayed up late studying, and finally walked across that stage to receive her diploma. It was a moment of triumph, a culmination of years of dedication and perseverance. But behind that smile, Sarah also owes $50,000 in student loans. This debt looms over her, a constant reminder of the cost of her education. To put it in perspective, that's more than a new car. Imagine driving off the lot in a brand new vehicle, the smell of fresh leather, the thrill of the open road. But for Sarah, that dream is out of reach. It's also more than a down payment on a house, a place to call her own, to build a future, to create memories. But with her debt, homeownership feels like a distant fantasy. This debt is a crushing weight on her shoulders. It affects every decision she makes, every step she takes. The stress is overwhelming, and it's a burden she carries every single day. Every month, Sarah sends a big chunk of her paycheck to the loan company. It's a painful reminder of the financial hole she's in. She budgets meticulously, cutting corners wherever she can, but it never seems to be enough. She's stuck renting a tiny apartment. The walls feel like they're closing in, and there's no room to breathe. Vacations? Forget about it. The idea of taking time off to relax and explore the world is a luxury she simply can't afford. Sarah is trapped by her student loan debt. It's a vicious cycle and she can't see a way out. The despair is palpable and it's taking a toll on her mental health. This is the reality for millions of young Americans. They pursued higher education with the hope of a better future, but now they're drowning in debt. The promise of the American dream feels like a cruel joke. They went to college, got an education, and now they're struggling to make ends meet. The weight of their loans is suffocating, and it's affecting their ability to move forward in life. The cost of college has skyrocketed, tuition fees have soared, and the burden has been placed squarely on the shoulders of students. Meanwhile, wages haven't kept pace. The gap between the cost of education and earning potential is widening. The result? A generation saddled with debt. They're fighting for a fair chance, for the opportunity to build a life without the constant shadow of financial strain. It's a battle that affects us all, and it's time for change. Student loan debt is a big problem. Huge. It's a national crisis. The burden of student loans is something that millions of Americans feel every single day. It's not just a financial issue, it's a personal one that affects lives, dreams, and futures. Over 43 million Americans have student loan debt. That's a staggering number of people who are trying to build their futures while carrying the weight of past educational expenses. The total amount? A mind-boggling $1.7 trillion. This isn't just a number, it's a reflection of the immense financial strain on individuals and families across the country. That's trillion with a T. To put it in perspective, it's more than the GDP of many countries. It's more than credit card debt. Credit card debt is often seen as a major financial hurdle, but student loan debt surpasses it by a significant margin. It's more than auto loan debt. Imagine the cost of every car on the road combined, and student loan debt still overshadows it. It's a massive burden on our economy. Why is this happening? The reasons are complex, but they boil down to a few key issues. College costs are out of control. The price of higher education has skyrocketed, making it difficult for many to afford without taking on debt. Tuition has been rising faster than inflation for decades. This means that even as the cost of living increases, the cost of education increases even more. State funding for public universities has been slashed. This reduction in funding has forced universities to raise tuition to cover their costs. Students are left holding the bag. They are the ones who have to bear the brunt of these rising costs. They have to take out loans to pay for their education. These loans are often the only way they can afford to attend college. Loans with high interest rates. These rates can make the debt grow quickly, turning what seemed like a manageable amount into a financial nightmare. Loans that follow them for years, sometimes decades. This long-term debt can delay major life decisions like buying a home, starting a family, or even saving for retirement. This debt has a huge impact on young people's lives. It affects everything: their careers, their relationships, their mental health. Many graduates are forced to take low-paying jobs. They need to make those loan payments. They can't afford to pursue their passions. They're stuck. Student loan debt also delays major life decisions. Getting married, buying a home, starting a family, these are all put on hold. Young people are delaying these milestones. They're worried about their finances. They're afraid of passing debt on to their children. It's a vicious cycle. The American dream is slipping away. Owning a home, starting a family, these are becoming pipe dreams. Student loan debt is a major obstacle. It's hard to save for a down payment when you're drowning in debt. It's tough to afford a mortgage when you're shelling out hundreds of dollars a month in loan payments. And what about starting a family? Having kids is expensive. Diapers, childcare, education, it all adds up. Many young people are delaying parenthood. They can't afford it. They're worried about their financial security. They don't want to bring children into a world of debt. Section 5, Trapped in a Cycle. Voices from the Debt Trap. In this section, we delve into the personal stories of individuals who are caught in the relentless cycle of debt. These are not just statistics. These are real people with real struggles. Don't just take our word for it. Hear directly from those who are living this reality every day. Their voices echo the challenges faced by millions. Listen to the stories of real people. People like Mark. He's a dedicated teacher who pours his heart into his work. He loves his job and his students. But despite his passion, he's struggling to make ends meet. The weight of financial stress is a constant burden. Mark has over $100,000 in student loan debt. This staggering amount looms over him every day, affecting his quality of life. He's working a second job just to pay his bills. The long hours and lack of rest are taking a toll on his health and well-being. He's exhausted, he's stressed, he's losing hope. Then there's Jessica. She's a recent graduate. Jessica had dreams of a fulfilling career, but reality hit hard. She's working in a field she hates. She has to. She needs a job with a good salary to manage her financial obligations. The pressure to earn enough to cover her loans is immense. Jessica is constantly reminded of her debt. Every paycheck, every bill, every financial decision is influenced by the need to pay back her loans. She's trapped in a cycle that feels never-ending. She's starting to regret going to college. The dreams she once had now seem distant and unattainable. It feels like a mistake. The promise of a better future through education has turned into a nightmare of debt and regret. These voices from the debt trap are a stark reminder of the urgent need for change. Section 6, The Price of Knowledge. Experts weigh in. Experts agree student loan debt is a serious problem. Economists warn of the long-term consequences: reduced consumer spending, slower economic growth, increased inequality. It's a drag on the entire economy. Psychologists are concerned about the mental health impact: anxiety, depression, hopelessness. Student loan debt is taking a toll on a generation. It's a heavy burden to bear. It's affecting their well-being. Section 7, Navigating the Labyrinth, Finding a Way Out. So what can be done? There are solutions. Borrowers need to be aware of their options: income-driven repayment plans, loan forgiveness programs. These can provide some relief, but they're often confusing and difficult to navigate. Financial literacy is key. Students need to understand debt. They need to know the terms of their loans. They need to make informed decisions about their education and their finances. Shared responsibility, a call for collective action. This isn't just a problem for borrowers, it's a societal issue. We need to address the root causes: the rising cost of college, the lack of affordable alternatives, the need for greater transparency in the student loan industry. We need to invest in education, make college more affordable, increase funding for public universities, explore alternative pathways to success. We need to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to succeed regardless of their background or their financial situation. Light at the end of the tunnel. Policy solutions. There are policy solutions that can make a difference. Tuition-free college, debt forgiveness programs, increased Pell Grant funding. These are all ideas worth exploring. We need to have a national conversation about college affordability. We need to find solutions that work for everyone. We need to hold elected officials accountable. They need to make this a priority. They need to listen to the concerns of their constituents. They need to take action. The future of our country depends on it. Empowering borrowers. Taking control of your debt. What can you do if you're struggling with student loan debt? Don't panic. There are resources available to help you. Contact your loan servicer. Explore repayment options. Seek financial counseling. You don't have to go through this alone. Create a budget. Track your spending. Look for ways to cut costs. Consider a side hustle to earn extra income. Every little bit helps. Take control of your finances. Don't let debt control you. A future free from debt. Investing in our future. Imagine a future where education doesn't lead to crippling debt. A future where young people are free to pursue their dreams. A future where the American dream is within reach for everyone. It's a future worth fighting for. We need to invest in our future. We need to invest in education. We need to make college affordable for all. It's an investment that will pay off for generations to come.